After meeting with Din Djarin and Grogu on the charred forest world of Corvus and being unable to train Grogu because of his deep attachment to his father figure, Ahsoka Tano directed Mando to bring Grogu to the ancient world of Tython, where a Jedi Knight may be able to find him. But who will this Jedi be? I'm going to break down every single Jedi that is alive during the time of the Mandalorian and which are most likely to meet Grogu on Tython. So before we get into it, make sure to smash the subscribe button for more awesome Star Wars lore content. Tython is an ancient Jedi world which is said to be one of the potential origin planets of the Jedi Order, along with Jedha, Ossus and Coruscant, where a group of Force-sensitive settlers known as the Tythans went through many evolutions and changes in belief until they eventually morphed into the modern Jedi Order of the Republic. The reason these original settlers came to Tython was because of its immense connection to the Force and because it served as a vast land of opportunity for all Force users to live together and harness their potential in the Force. It's because of this incredible connection to the Force that placing Grogu onto a seeing stone on one of the 9 Jedi temples will likely alert surviving Jedi to his presence, possibly summoning them to him. But which Jedi will come? So the first potential Jedi that could visit Tython is of course Ezra Bridger. In the final moments of the Battle of Lothal from Star Wars Rebels, Ezra Bridger bravely sacrificed himself in order to stop Grand Admiral Thrawn and his fleet from destroying his homeworld of Lothal by signaling for the Purrgil, a species of space creatures who have the natural ability to enter hyperspace, and guiding them through the Force to wrap themselves around Grand Admiral Thrawn's flagship, the Chimera, before sending them deep into the unknown regions. Based on what we know so far, it's not clear that Ezra has even been found yet by Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren, who set out to search for him after his brave actions. Dave Filoni himself also stated, right after The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 5 aired, it's possible that the story I'm telling in The Mandalorian actually takes place prior to that. Possible. I'm saying it's possible. This is of course a very vague and cryptic response, which is standard for Dave, but it's pretty likely that most of the future story is already written, so I think the only reason that he mentioned this is because Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian is set before the Rebels epilogue. For this reason, I'm leaning towards Ezra not showing up on Tython, but I really hope he does show up, and that Dave Filoni is just misdirecting us. But let me know what you think down below. After that, we of course have the man that everyone wants to see, Luke Skywalker. Following the fall of the Empire with the defeat of Emperor Palpatine and the redemption of his father Darth Vader, Luke set out to re-establish the Jedi Order and restore peace and justice to the galaxy once more. In his quest to do this, Luke travelled the galaxy searching for ancient Jedi artifacts, texts, and any piece of history which would aid him in his goal of rebuilding the Jedi Order. In Star Wars Legends, Tython is the birthplace of the Jedi Order and contained many years of rich Jedi history inside of their 9 great temples and various Jedi buildings and ruins. If you want to know the full history of how the Jedi Order was formed from a group of Force-sensitive settlers, make sure to check the link in the pinned comment down below after you finish the video. It's a really awesome story. Because of Tython's rich history and connection to the Jedi Order, this would be a perfect place for Luke Skywalker to visit while trying to rebuild his new order and discover everything he can about the old Jedi ways. For this reason, he is probably very aware of Tython's existence and its seeing stone, possibly meaning that he is awaiting its use so that he can recruit new Force users into his new Jedi Order. If Luke does show up on Tython, however, I'd probably expect it to be a season finale reveal as a teaser for Season 3, meaning Mando wouldn't make it to Tython for at least a few more episodes. Alongside Luke Skywalker is of course his sister Leia. Now, I really don't think the Jedi on Tython will be Leia, seeing as she was more focused on politics and rebuilding the New Republic around this time, so we can pretty much rule her out immediately. Following this is Sia Junda and her apprentice Cal Kestis. After successfully recovering a holocron containing the names of many Force-sensitive children in the galaxy, Cal and his master chose to destroy it to prevent it from falling into the hands of the Empire. With Sia Junda being around her 70s during the time of the Mandalorian, I don't see her making an appearance on Tython unless she discovered it and settled down on the Force-rich planet later down the line. Instead, there's a good chance that we'll see Cal Kestis make his first live-action appearance. Cal has quickly become a fan favourite character, and his in-game model uses the likeness of Cameron Monaghan, so he is already portrayed by a very capable actor, easily making it possible that he appears in The Mandalorian. Personally, I would love to see this, as Fallen Order was a fantastic game, and Jedi Fallen Order 2 is coming next year. After this, we know that Quinlan Vos is still most likely alive during the time of the Mandalorian. In the final days of the Clone Wars, General Quinlan Vos was diverted to the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk, where he fought alongside Luminara Unduli and Master Yoda himself, who were also stationed there. As the horrific order to kill all Jedi, Order 66, came through, Vos was able to evade his clone troopers and escape into the dense jungles of Kashyyyk, never to be seen again, so far. In the weeks after Order 66, Quinlan Vos's name was on a list of priority Jedi targets that was being used by Darth Vader's Inquisitors to determine their next targets, meaning that he is still most likely alive. In addition to this, Luke Skywalker also mentioned Quinlan Vos as being a survivor of the Great Jedi Purge in his personal journal, meaning at one point he may have tried to search for him. Who knows, maybe they'll visit Grogu together on Tython. Next is of course Yaddle, the only other member of Yoda's species apart from Grogu himself, who was a member of the Jedi Order in canon. In Star Wars Legends, Yaddle of course was killed when she used the Force to absorb a horrid bioweapon targeting Anakin Skywalker, which unfortunately killed the 483-year-old Jedi Master instantly. In canon, however, her death has never been confirmed, and instead, all we know is that following the Battle of Naboo, Yaddle decided to take on a less active role in Jedi affairs, stepping down from the Council before the Clone Wars began. With her death not being confirmed in canon, who would be a better Jedi than one of Grogu's own species, and not to mention possible mother, to visit him on Tython. Following that, we have the awesome, very long-haired Jedi Master, Oppo Rancisis. Oppo Rancisis was another Jedi Master and member of the High Council who managed to escape the Jedi Purge. During the Battle of Saleucami, Rancisis served alongside Master Stas Ali, but unlike her, he was able to evade the clone troopers of the 91st and go into hiding. His name was also on the list that the Grand Inquisitors were attempting to track down, making him a great candidate to visit Grogu on Tython. Unfortunately, however, he doesn't have the same name recognition as many of the others, so I don't think they would use a slightly lesser known Jedi Master. But then again, they've clearly shown that they're willing to take risks, which is really awesome. After that is Master UVELL. Absolutely nothing is known about this Jedi Master, apart from the fact that he managed to survive the first wave of his clone troopers' betrayal during Order 66, and that he loved to collect knowledge and ancient Jedi artifacts. Because of this little point, I can see them using him if Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni want a blank slate character, but someone who is already established in canon. Other than that though, you can almost cross off Master UVELL. After that is Jedi Padawan Nakmed. Nakmed left the Jedi Order before Order 66 took place, and initially believed Palpatine's story about the Jedi, siding with him instead of the old order that he was once part of. Nakmed did die in canon in the year 30 ABY, after knowing his family would be safe from outside threats, which is well after the time of the Mando, but I wouldn't count on seeing him appear. So those are pretty much all of the potential Jedi who might visit Grogu on Tython. There are some more survivors, which I'll quickly list now, but these have barely any story apart from their names, so will most likely not appear. They are Kira Vantala, a Jedi Knight who saved Force-sensitive children from the Grand Inquisitor after the Purge. Selrak Elios, which is just the name of the author who created him, mixed around Charles Soule. Camuncoli, which is a reference to the penciler of the comic where he was created, Giuseppe Camuncoli. The unidentified Rodian youngling, who hid with Trilla Sidori during Order 66. And finally, Coleman Kaj, who did actually feature in the Clone Wars series and Revenge of the Sith, but it's pretty unlikely that he would be featured. So those are pretty much all of the Jedi who could visit Grogu on Tython. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.